I remember the exact moment I decided to ruin my own life. Not because I was in love, not because I was desperate, but because I was angry. My mother had already planned everything: the venue, the guest list, the dress, and most importantly, the groom. He was rich. His family owned half the city. They lived in a house so big it echoed when you walked. My mother called it security. I called it a cage. I don't love him, I told her. She didn't even look up from her phone. Love comes later, she said. Stability comes first. Stability. That word had followed me my whole life. Every decision was about appearances, about what people would say, about marrying up. But no one asked what I wanted. The night I finally broke, we were sitting at the dinner table. Crystal glasses, perfect posture, fake smiles. His mother was talking about renovations to my future room. My future room. Like I was already furniture. That's when I saw him. Not my fiancé. Someone else. He was standing near the entrance, holding a tray. Simple clothes, quiet eyes, the kind of person no one really sees. He worked for the catering company. And when one of the guests snapped their fingers at him, he didn't argue. He didn't roll his eyes. He just nodded and kept moving. Calm, controlled, unbothered. For some reason, that bothered me more than anything else in that room. Later that night, I walked outside for air. He was there, sitting on the curb behind the building, eating from a plastic container. No spotlight, no audience, just silence. "You don't look like you belong back there," I said. He looked up at me, confused. "Neither do you." I almost laughed. No one had ever said that to me before. We talked for 10 minutes. Nothing dramatic, nothing romantic, just honest. He told me he worked 2 jobs. He sent money home. He didn't complain. I told him I was getting married in 3 weeks. He didn't congratulate me. He just said, "Is that what you want?" I didn't answer, because for the first time in years, I didn't know. That night, I went back inside and looked at my fiancé differently, not as a partner, but as a transaction. And something inside me shifted. 3 days later, I made a decision that shocked everyone. I canceled the wedding. Not quietly, publicly, in front of both families. And before anyone could stop me, I did something even worse. I asked the catering guy to marry me instead. The room went completely silent. Not shocked, silent. Frozen silent. My mother stood up so fast her chair fell backward. "Have you lost your mind?" she whispered, but everyone heard it. My ex-fiancé didn't yell. He didn't argue. He just stared at me like I had insulted his entire bloodline. And him? The catering guy? He looked like I had just handed him a live grenade. "I think you're confused," he said quietly. "I'm not," I replied. But if I'm honest, I was terrified. Not of him, of what would happen next. My mother grabbed my arm so hard it hurt. "You will not embarrass this family like this." Embarrass. That word again. Everything was always about how things looked, never about how they felt. I pulled my arm away. "I'm not marrying him," I said, pointing at my fiancé, "and I'm not living a life I didn't choose." Then I turned to the catering guy. "I don't need you to love me," I told him. "I just need you to be honest with me." He studied my face for a long moment, like he was trying to figure out if I was crazy or serious. "You don't know anything about me," he said. "Then let me find out." That's when my ex-fiancé finally spoke. "You're doing this to hurt your mother," he said calmly. "This isn't about him." Maybe he was right. Maybe part of me wanted to watch their perfect plan fall apart. But another part of me, just wanted to breathe. The catering guy stood up slowly. "If I say yes," he said, "your life changes." I didn't hesitate. "So does yours." And then he said something I didn't expect. Okay. The next morning, reality hit. Not the dramatic kind, the quiet kind. No luxury house, no security team, no family calling to check on me. Just a small apartment on the edge of the city. Paint slightly chipped. One couch, a table that wobbled if you leaned on it. I stood there holding my suitcase, wondering what I had just done. He didn't try to impress me, no speeches, no promises. He just handed me a spare key. "You can leave any time," he said. "I won't stop you." That sentence scared me more than anything else. Because for the first time, I wasn't trapped. The first few weeks were hard. My mother stopped calling. My old friends disappeared. Social media turned into a battlefield. People called me unstable, impulsive, stupid, and sometimes, late at night, I almost believed them. He worked long hours, 2 jobs, sometimes 3. He never complained, never asked me why I chose him. Until one evening, when I finally asked the question that had been sitting between us. "Why did you say yes?" He didn't answer immediately. Instead, he opened a drawer and pulled out a folder. Inside were documents, business licenses, partnership agreements, investment papers. My name was on some of them. I stared at him. "You're not just a catering worker," I said slowly. He shook his head. "I started that company," he replied, "but I never tell people. I like seeing how they treat me when they think I'm nothing." My chest tightened. "So this was a test?" I asked. "No," he said calmly. "You were the only person that night who spoke to me like I mattered. Not like staff, not like background." Silence filled the room. All this time, I thought I married down to hurt my mother. But I hadn't married down at all. I had just stepped out of her world. A week later, my mother showed up at our apartment. No driver, no designer purse, just her. She looked around the small space with visible discomfort. "You've made your point," she said. "Come home." I looked at him, then back at her. "For the first time," I said quietly, "I already am home." She left without another word. Months passed. The gossip faded. The noise died down. And something unexpected happened. I stopped feeling angry, stopped trying to prove anything. I didn't marry him to destroy my mother's plans. I married him because, for once in my life, someone saw me without a price tag attached. And I chose that. Not revenge, not rebellion, just freedom. And sometimes, that's the most dangerous choice of all.